Thrito back here with some Danganronpa. If you haven't already seen the rest of my playlist, I'd recommend going and checking that out because we're coming up on some major spoilers. All right, let's hop into it. Now I'm hoping that last episode I fixed a majority of the lag issues. Because I don't want to deal with a bunch of lag in this. Anyway, it's fine. So I guess I already talked to everyone here. So I guess let's do this. Yes. I got a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. Who did it? The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. As we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. Oh man. Woo! What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good, good. You're rip-rearing to go. I gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well.
Okay then, let's get the show on the road.
Drills,
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly last trial. Da-da-da! All right. Wait, I have 2 of 13. Damage to opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effect during the bullet time battle cost. So do I have both of them active now? Yeah. And then I think all that I would have here is the regulations, which I already know. Oh, I'm lagging again. Well, why? Okay, whatever. Let's just hope it's not a big deal. All right.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Alright, I'm gonna stop doing that. First, I have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Make your argument. Okay.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
That is
According
true.
to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
What? Oh. Sorry. I should probably have waited that out.
Fatal injury.
Because he was asking what could it have been.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
There we go. How did I miss it?
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Weapon events and comments listed on it.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Oh, but I don't think I lost any sort of thing for letting it
According to the Monokuma
go.
file, the killer used a blunt
But it was
instrument.
down here.
But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
What's wrong? Break.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Well, of course. I'm an investigator. What else would I do?
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
Okay,
Although,
Bianca, yeah,
I
let's do
believe
this.
The criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
I mean, the proof is all there. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit the lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot the actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. I'm not, I think mine's in kind. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking of Genocide
Oh,
Jack,
did I just barely hit the thing? Bianca showed me in the archive. One looked at one look at that and anyone would be convinced. It shows that this was the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Oh my gosh.
speaking of Genocide
Do I need a-
Jack, I don't know who that is.
My noise is so annoying. At least I'm getting time back for shooting down these.
The culprit
Lines.
is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Come on.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
Okay.
What?
Spill the beans, me.
I found this file while I was looking around the
Well,
archive in the
no.
library.
Bianca just showed me the file.
I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly,
I like
it outlines
Byakuya.
all
He's
the specifics
cool.
of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
That the characteristics of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body. How the victim is positioned.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
That he does.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
Yeah,
However,
makes sense.
Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
Yes, fucking way, dog.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Probably.
In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's not a riddle, dog. It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. But it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit. I don't remember what Hangman's Gambit was. I don't remember how to play this one. S. Shoot the red ones, right? I don't remember at all what I was doing. Was I just supposed to
Is it
shoot
because
down all the
Genocide
letters?
Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing that shows Toko could have had a split personality, it has to do with her behavior, is her behavior changed.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right.
Precisely.
Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fun. Oh, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? I like dead people. Yahoo! She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The wheel has a front, a back, a top inning, and a bottom. A sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, to drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her, of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right,
Right.
Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
You know what? That's fair.
This is the real world.
And at the
not
same
some
time,
romantic
if
fantasy
he
fairy
didn't say
tale.
it, we'd all be dead instead of just her. Although, I'm not sure if just her is gonna die, because, well, she's not really the one killing people. Although, to be fair, it's hard to know exactly, though,
Besides,
to be fair.
You broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again!
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Not gonna lie, I totally thought she was gonna be the one to get killed and not turn out to kill
I
anyone.
hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Who goes by suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck?
I have some in my eye there for a sec. That was
So you
weird.
figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the
Ooh.
fuck is this?
I like that, Genocide Jill.
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
How did her teeth get so long and pointy? Okay.
So intense.
Like they say, sound and murder is mind, sound and murder is body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Yeah, she's a bit intense, but honestly, I like her a lot more than Toko, not gonna lie. Is that bad? Who knows? Is this the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
I mean, that is fair.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
That's deep, but I can't say I follow.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well,
And that,
let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
and she didn't want it to get out. Yeah,
If a
that's
secret
fair.
like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something is still bothering me. What she said, I need to get more details about all of this. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Yeah, I think it was the modus operandus. I think that's what it was.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
Oh, sorry. Well, what, did I say something funny? Did you say something funny? Did I? Oh crap! I'm out of hearts. How am I out of hearts? I had. Nobody believes me. No one wants to hear what I have to say. Through the one with the most votes is Makoto. Hamoko is not the lacking. Looks like the.
Is this really?
Doing our shot? Yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
Oh. Wait, do I have to start from the beginning of the trial again? Make your argument. No, okay. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
There we go.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Oh, he did mention something like that, but the case file was gone. Yeah, I do remember that now.
Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Hey, Chef Boyardee isn't that bad. Come on.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is remarkably different from the other murders.
Although, to be fair, it could have just been a lack of, what's it called? Resources of scissors, but we'll roll with it.
For someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
I'm not getting all these food analogies, but you know what?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Right, how she was suspended. The photos from the genocide cases, Jack's. All of the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Can't say for sure, but I think when they suspended her, it's different. What do you mean? I mean, in one case, the victim was suspended before death, and in the other, it was after death. Can you really tell that just by looking at the body? Wow, that's amazing! As if don't just go around making crap up. She's right. I don't think you can determine the timing simply by looking at the body. It's like I embarrassed myself in front of everyone. But the same difference was laid how she was suspended. In the photos. Oh, okay.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend
Although
her?
we do know she was suspended after she had died.
They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Well, I guess she does have scissors, as we see there.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, So naturally, I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
What?
Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac.
There's
actually
actually
one more difference.
I like the name Big Mac. I guess I'm Big Mac. Well, he's Big Mac, but I'm Big Mac now.
Huh?
I'll get on my work badge and everything. Just Big Mac.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims that ended here didn't fit. Look at the names of each victim, what you'll notice. I think I figured it out. Why couldn't you?
I got it! Is it because
Chihiro.
Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
But are we even sure that she is a girl at this point? Because we know she died in the boys' locker room, but that was before anything with the PDAs came up, and she didn't know.
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuro Honda, 17. Shiji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Kotsumuna Taru Takafume Geno. Uchida Naoya. Takashi Masamu Yoto Umejami. There was no end to it.
They were all guys?
Yeah?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with
Apparently they're adorable.
I can't help
Who
it.
am I to
I'm
judge?
just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. Ramen is pretty good.
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That is
That-
true.
Does make some amount of sense.
But at the same time, if it's kind of your thing, wouldn't it be weird to just... I don't know.
I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you!
No, we really can't,
Not to mention, I have no
so...
clue how to tie a good knot! That rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There is one person. One person could have copied Genocide Jack cases.
Here's my answer.
It would have to have been Byakuya.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you've already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your
Okay.
response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
I don't like how she's still just wide-eyed staring at everyone.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Byakuya sus. In the locker rooms, they're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? That's suspicious? Seems nobody searched the locker room. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right?
I should have naturally
Oh,
thought of
sorry.
the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Well, but how did he know it was Chihiro?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it?
Go
ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Yeah. Next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. The memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. You don't seem to have an answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets. It might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time for flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? I don't understand. In this case, though, I will say if you don't use your flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. I don't know what truth flashback. I don't quite understand it, but
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity
I was trying to use my
check
truth
out the
flashback,
girls'
but
locker room, you
I guess it'd have to be a weak spot, wouldn't it?
That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you.
Okay, I think I should shoot down the victim was Chihiro. In the sense I could have known. Yeah. Okay, I need to make that contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
I'm gonna try
The
this.
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There
Okay.
was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you.
Can't I speed things up?
So, you said Biak, but he was acting... If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
What, do you think there's something mistake?
Shoot!
Okay, could it be the first one?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we
What,
found
what
out.
is going on? Cause there's...
Shoot! So, you said Biak, but he was acting... If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
There's nothing else. There must be something in there somewhere. Well, where do I shoot it? I don't know.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me
It's not a weak spot. Okay, so do I need to...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a... So of course I would
Suggest we check. There was no time. What's so strange? You wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Whoa, what do I do?
Shoot!
I don't get it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before...
Okay, this is their weak spot in response to a potential lie or contradiction. Multiple weak spots may appear. But I tried that. It didn't work. Because why would I shoot down the victim as Chihiro on the victim as Chihiro? Hold on, I'm definitely not cheating here. Okay, so
But he was acting weird.
Google said
The victim was Chihiro,
to shoot this,
who was a girl.
but I don't have any other bullets.
So, you said
Right?
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... How?
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural.
The victim was... So of course I would... There was no time. What's so strange?
You wish you'd taken me with you.
Do I need to select?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro.
Okay, cool. Okay, so even I didn't even find that out from the Google.
I'll
They
tell
guess
you what's so strange
Google
about
never
that.
said anything about that.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with
What's
him.
the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
I mean, he knew about the PDAs or the e-handbooks.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Because he had the, what's it called, extension cord 2. It proves that Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. Let it be. Alright guys, so this is where I'm going to leave it off for this episode. The recording of this was long enough that this class trial will need to be split into 3 separate episodes. I do apologize for that, but those will be coming out over the next couple days. If you haven't already, like and subscribe so that I can know that you guys are liking what I'm putting out. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.